Largely.
Okay, so yesterday we have seen the introductions of the Pythons, who is developed, when it is developed, what is the need, and the purpose of the programming language. So I already shared you on that the group that developed by Guryov and Rassam 1989. First version is 1991. It's basically to reduce the complexity of the other programming language like C, C++, or Java. Simple syntax, easy to write. And writing program, there are many editors are available. Okay, so like you can use a Google Colab as well if you struggling with installing some things. So there is a Google Colab is also available. You can try this as well. Okay, this is also the one of the options that yesterday our program is this, and we have done some basic program. But more where we are going to use in IDLE. So this is what IDLE we have installed yesterday, and we also done some basic program actually. So we have created one folder. Let me open that file. Recent. You can see that we have developed created one folder called School PY 2006, and this is what our first program. So so begin with any programming language. We follow one sequence, and accordingly that only we are going to start with any programming language. Up to now we have a three different language knowledge, like we have done C programming, we have worked on CPP, we have worked on Java as well. To getting start with any programming language, there are some foundation or fundamentals we need. Very first thing is an environment. Environment means kind of software for developing that. Okay. And the second, we must understand why we need, or why we studying that language. And once we have installed the software, then there is some basic question how to write. That means basic syntax. How to save the file, and how to run. Okay. So this is a sequence we need to follow. Once we have done this, then very first program we always do that how to print the statement, print the things on console. So in Python, luckily the print is used. And once we have done the printing things, then next step is the data types. Then we go for the flow controls, right? In flow control, there are many ways like we have if, else, while, that all things are available in Python as well. If, else, for loops, while, right? So these are all the things which is already available. So then after that, we'll study user input output, how to take an input from user input outputs. This is what the sequence we need to follow here. Yeah. Apart from this, yesterday we have done some basic part like needed softwares. That is, we are going to use an IDLE. Then why we need to reduce the complexity of the programs which is available in C, C++, Java. Need to follow so many rules. So like a semicolon is also mandatory. Some complex syntax is there. So to avoid that, the Python is developed. That is the primary focus of the Pythons. How to write? We know that we can directly begin with the Pythons. There is no need to specify or no need to include any files. There is no such a concept as a main. In the background, all these things are though it is happen, but there is no need to write in manual. How to save? That we have done with the help of .py extension. We are saving the files, and to run the files, we are using the F5, or you can see that run and go to that run models and run the files. Okay. To print the things, we need to use a print only, like a print braces brackets, and we are writing here like welcome to Pythons. Up to this, we have done yesterday. If you quickly revise, you'll come to know that same thing we have done. Why we need this, right? Needed software, Google Colabs. This is ideal. We have installed installation process, opening process, writing code. There is a run option. Either you can click on run and run models, or else we can press F5 and we'll get this output. Perfect. So now next part that we are going to study today is about in data types. Okay. In Python, the data type is quite interesting. So that we are going to see today, and we'll do some basic programming as well. So we have done the softwares, why we need, how to write, how to save, how to run, and the print. Now we'll focus on the types, that is a data type for you. Okay, today's target is we understand the data types. General programming language, we know the data types. So to store a different kind of data, we need a data types. If you are consider that C or C++ or Java, there is a kind of data types we have used directly, indirectly for storing a numeric value. Okay, for storing number, we are using integer, right? So one of the integer value we used for storing different numbers. Then for storing float value, like for number, we use integer. For decimal, we use float. Then there is a string data type, right? So these are the basic types we have used. So, and to syntax to write this code or storing this value, we need to specify the data type first, like which kind of data type we are going to use. Then after that, we have used an array as well. This is also the data types. So these are the specified data type in other language. And if you want to declare something, so you have to write the code in that way also. For example, integer a is equal to 2, semicolon. Now a as a act as an integer. If you want to store a float, the float f is equal to 81.23. Now here f is act as a float. Okay. For storing string value, you're writing a string. Nm is equal to sure. Here nm is act as a string. And we know the array is something a different types, but as of now, you can consider that AR of array square bracket is equal to, we're writing a data indirectly like this. Okay. This also we have seen. In other language, very specifically, we need to write the type, which kind of data you want to store, then only which is act as a data type. Okay. But, and one more things, these languages are strictly typed. Strictly, I'm saying, strictly typed. Strictly typed language means we have to specify the proper data types, then only which is act as a list types. But Python is a dynamic type. Python, Python, Python is dynamic. When I say the dynamics, that means there is no restriction for the data types. Okay, dynamic types. But there are still in the background, there are different data types. So which is act as a numerics that include an integer, float, and complex. Boolean value, true or false. Sequence, there is a string, list, tuples, mapping, dictionary is there, and set in the frozen set. So these are the different types that also we are going to see. But in general, for writing integer, float, and all the complex things, so there is no specific type we needed. Okay. What I mean, if I want to store some value, numeric value, so I can directly use, suppose the same thing I want to declare in the Python. So I can directly write here a is equal to 2. Okay. There is no need to specify integer. Okay. This is beauty of Pythons. And if I want to declare, suppose float, so I can directly write f is equal to 81.23. And even the semicolon is also not needed. That also we need to remember. Like string nm is equal to Suresh. This is also the string. And for storing array, we'll use some other ways. But let me show you something. Like there is need to use ar is equal to this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So there is no specified type we need to mention. Accordingly, the value type passed to that variables, it act as a that data types language. Okay. And the beauty of Python is if I store later on a is equal to something a 2.2, now a is act as a float value. Okay. If I store the a is equal to something called as in character types, now a is act as a string. Okay. The based on the value passed, it is act as a dat data types. So in short, the Python is a dynamically a types. So whichever the data you are passing to that variables, accordingly it is act as the data types. Yeah. So this things we need to now understand practically by doing programs, and we can print it back again as files. Okay. So let's start with the new files. We already created one file. So I'll create one more new file here. Okay. You can save that file name as in the same folder only. So let me dt dttype dot py extension is there. Okay, so let me store my name first. So I'll use an nm is equal to this suresh. Now nm is an act as in string types. So what if I can store age? So you can directly store the age is equal to 33. No need a semicolons. Then something a float you want to store. So let me store here the percentage is equal to 81.23. Okay. And which type is missing now? Hello? Hello? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. There
You
was
left?
Wi-Fi issue. That's
Okay.
why. Yes. आता एक मिनट.
Yeah. Is the screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. So where we are in the data types. The Python is basically dynamically a type. So there is no strictly types like in C, C++, Java. We can store any data value. Accordingly, it is act as a data types. Okay. So now here we can take in one example. NM is storing this, but I'm not specifying the type as it is string. I'm directly storing the values. So whichever the value I stored, accordingly that act as a type. Okay. So these are the three different types. Let me print it back. Okay. So I can print this as well directly, like I can say that a name I can print. Then I can print here like age is there. Then you can print like in percentage is there. If I run this file, you'll get the output Suresh 33 and the percent. Okay. This is basic data types programs, different type of data types. Though in the background there is a type available, but there is not specifically need to write that type. Okay. It automatically understand based on the value passed. It automatically consider okay, it is in data types of integer and float and the like string and all that things. Okay. But in other programming language, we are need to specifically, forcefully, we need to write the types as here we are writing. So this is one of the complexity they have removed. Even if you observe that we are not passing a semicolon, also we are not giving it, but still it is working. Okay, so this is data types. So let's go into some deeper now. These are the basic data types. Three different kind of data type is there. You have to try this program first. And now we'll see something different parts. How we can check the type of the data, like which kind of data I'm passing. I want to check the type. To check the type, there is a function called type. Okay. So this is the one variation. The second variation, if you want to add some name or some title before this, so you can add this like name colon is equal to comma you can mention. So if you want to write here age colon is equal to, you can write a comma here. Sorry. And if you want to write the percentage, so that also you can do percentage colon is equal to comma per. Now you see the outputs. You want to print something before, write something before print, you can go with like this. Okay. So this is also the one way. You need to remember this also.
Yes.
Now let's check the type of that programs or types. I can check the type. To check the type, there is a function called a type. You can see that type pe type of nm. I want to know what is the type of nm. I want to check the type of ag. I want to check the type of ag. I want to check type of percentage. What is the type of percentage? If you generally see that the now nm is like a string, this is an integer, and this is a float. Because if I run this file, you can check here. We are getting the type of that particular data types. See, nm is a type of class str. That means string. Age is an integer, and it is as a float. Right? So this is also we come to know like this is what we can cross check it, which kind of data type we are storing and accessing. Okay. This is in the initial practice you need to focus on this topic. Now, as I said, there is not we are specifying any like data type here. We are just passing the data. Now, if you see the output of these programs, you will observe here. Here, age is act as an integer just because it is a complete number. But what if I add some decimal? Okay, but the variable name remains same. Then now age is act as a float. You can see that. Initially it is an integer. Just for passing decimal, it is act as a float. And if I add double quote here, then The same variable will act now as a string. See, based on the type we have passed, that age is act as integer and float and the doubles. Okay. See, initially it is like this, like this. Initially it is a number, act as a number. Okay. Then it is a float, act as a float. In double quote, it is act as a string. Okay. This is single line comment. Yeah, remember this. For add a comment in Pythons, you need to use what this is hashtag. Let's open that output screenshot here. A pop up. See now. Initially act as an integer and float, then the string. So it is simple mean that whichever the type we have passed, it is decided based on the value we have passed in that particular variables. So that is a type of sum. Okay. So this is basic understanding of storing values and accessing value back again. Okay. Now, once we understand like how to store a value and how to print it back, so that means we can apply any formula or we can do any mathematical calculations with the help of this, with the hard coded value. Of course, we can do because now we understand like how to store a value in the variable and how to print back it again. And now the simple part at how to do the calculation parts. So let me start some basic calculations. So I save the file as I can write a calculation cal.py. Okay. So a calculation means I'm taking a number one is equal to suppose a 20, number two equal to I'm taking something a 75. I can add it. The answer is equal to n1 plus n2. Basic part PRI printing print sum is equal to sum colon is equal to comma answer. This answer we can get here. Anyway, in a similar manner, we can do the subtraction, we can do the multiplications, we can do any kind of things because it's a general arithmetic operators. We already aware about that, so that much complicated. It's simple. Addition we are getting. If you want to do the subtractions, still you can do multiplication and divisions. Four of operation you can do like I can write on sum sm, that is a subtractions. I can write here multiplications. I can write here dv, divisions. So for subtraction, there is a SV, there is multiplications, and there is a division. You can write sum, multiplication, division, and something. Second is in subtraction. Third is in multiplication. And the fourth part is in div, division. So let the variable name as well subtraction. Then we have multiplications. Then there is called dv. See, properly we can get the output of this. So this is the part you can try this much basic calculation as well. Once you understand how to store a value, how to do some basic operations and print it back again. Okay. Python is properly a follow a BODMAS ruler. Remember that BDMS. That means if I'm taking a x is equal to suppose an 8 multiply by suppose 6 divided by 3, there is minus 2 plus 5 minus 2. So can you guess the what is the output of this expression? Take your times and you can answer the value. PL value of x colon is equal to comma x. What be the value, hmm, of x?
6. 8 divided by 8 by 6. 8 multiply
Hmm.
8 multiply by 6.
Which is
48,
have
48.
highest priority?
Board mass in first will perform divide. Oh,
Yeah,
it
so
will be 2
now
8
that
8
means
into
it
2
will become 8 as it is, then it will become into 2, right?
into 2.
Then write minus 2 as it is, plus 5 as it is, minus 2 as it is. Then second priority will be multiplication.
Bracket, but there is no bracket.
Yeah,
No, off. So there is no off. So we'll not perform it.
yeah, there is
Divide is done.
2
Then we will perform
plus
multiply.
minus
Then addition and subtraction.
2. In that case,
Will-
which operation is performed first?
First addition
Addition. So 16 will become as it is.
-7. It
No,
will be
it's
9.
minus 2 plus 5, no?
Minus. Then it will be -3. By 16, it will be -3. Then 13. 13 minus 2, 11.
11 is the answer, you said, right?
Yes.
No, no, let me check now. Suppose if I manage here like 2 plus 5, so answer will be plus 3. Okay, then it is minus 2. Okay, so let's check which will be the answer. Primary, it is look as a 70, but we can check that which will be the final answer. Okay, so single comment we have seen, that is brackets. The hashtag is a single line comment. For adding multi-line comments, there is need to write a triple single quotes. Okay, triple single quote. This is for multi-line comments. Points. Ooh. Yeah, so there's unwanted space is there. So that's all. See, correct? Our answer is 17. Na?
Yes.
See, the evolution is firstly done the multi division part. So we 8, it is answer become 2, remaining as it is. Then the multiplication remaining as it is. Now the plus operation should be performed. So it is minus 2 plus 3. So answer is a plus 3. Na? That highest value get the symbol is a plus 5.
Yes.
So that's why plus 5 minus 2, it's become plus 3. Then minus 2, then it's 19, then 17. 17 will be the right answer. Okay. It means that Python is also follow the BODMOS rules. So that means we can perform any mathematical operations or any formula operations so that we can get the accurate values. Okay. On the basis of this, you can perform any mathematical formulas or you can apply any mathematical formulas. That may be some areas, that may be some mathematicals. Okay. As of now, you need to just simply store the value and access the values and do some calculation. This is the primary part you have to practice. All the programs are already shared. You can try this out. Okay. Once you get comfortable, then we'll go some deeper and deeper. Okay. Remember one thing, Python program is not much lengthy. It is as shorter. Okay. Understanding the syntax and we are have some basic foundation of program as well so that we can easily compare, not look that much hard. Okay. Cool.